Hello, this is Janae from the Conscious Community Podcast and Conscious Community Magazine. We wanted to let you know that we have sponsorship packages available. If you are interested in sponsoring this podcast, please email Spencer at spencer@consciouscommunitymagazine.com or call or text 630-492-0831. 630-492-0831. Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate all of you. Conscious Community Podcast is brought to you by Conscious Community Magazine, America's oldest metaphysical magazine, continuously in print since 1979. We feature articles about nutrition, holistic living, yoga, healing, and much more in each monthly issue, as well as regular columns and a comprehensive events calendar and community happenings section.
Welcome to the Conscious Community Podcast. Today we're speaking with Bhante Sujatha, who is a Buddhist monk.
Yes.
And we are actually here in his temple in Woodstock, Illinois, and really excited to do an interview here in person. We normally do a lot of phone and Skype interviews, but Woodstock's relatively nearby us, so we decided to come out here and meet with him in his space. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, it actually just is bringing up that we are in Woodstock. What brings a Buddhist community to Woodstock? Was there one already, or?
No, it wasn't ready.
Okay.
It is a long story. Before I come to Illinois, I was in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
After I come to this country, I was serving to my own Sri Lankan Buddhist people, Southfield, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So I did 5 years. 5 years later, I did my job to build the temple and helping the community. Then I was questioning myself, what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a little confused because now I'm living in this country. I don't have any experience about America or American culture, how people think, what people do, because I'm very limited to that small Sri Lankan community.
Mm-hmm.
I have my language, community, food, and everything is there. But I didn't like it. I was thinking if I want to live here, I had to go and know the country and the people and culture. If not, I had to go back. Then I have friends and family and everything in Sri Lanka. So I decided I'm going to stay. Being a monk is not a paid job. We all are volunteers. That means I can leave anytime. But being nice to them, I said within next few weeks I'm leaving. So they asked me, where do you go? I said, I don't know. I don't have any idea where I'm going. And anyway, one of my friends, American man who come to the temple, so I used my broken language, asked him, could you please help me to find the place? He said, I don't know how to help you, but how about you write an email to many different churches around the country? So then he drafted me a general letter. I'm forwarding this letter to many different churches. I sent more than 50 emails.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting many replies, but almost a week later, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nervous and fear for unknown, and I already announced I'm leaving, and now I have to leave. So anyway, finally I got 2 emails, one from Georgia, Atlanta, other one here in Woodstock, this place. So first time I was driving, the 90 West. Then I took the Woodstock exit to get here. I was scared because of middle of the farmlands, no people. I was thinking I'm going to live my life now, no people in this country. It's very scary. So however, I end up in this church. Minister was so nice to me, and he said, I don't know how to treat a Buddhist monk. This is the first time I'm meeting one. He said, if you need a place to live, I can help you to find a place. Then he introduced me to a family in Cary, and so husband and wife, 2 children. And then they gave me a room, and then husband said, if you want to live with us, and so you have to handle, our family matters, children, my wife. And so I said, okay, because I never used to live with a family because I became a monk age 11.
Oh, wow.
Right? And so that means I don't have family experience. It was so distracting for me first week, and 2 children, loud, the television. I'm not used to. However, I have a disorder. I cannot handle mess, like a messy bathrooms or kitchen. I always love to clean. So when they leave the house, I clean everything and make it like a Zen temple. When they come home, cook meal, everything is clean and organized. Now they love me. I used to them. I used to live with them many years, and almost 9 years.
Oh, wow.
So then one day, this church invited me to come and do a meditation class. That's how I started first time meditation here at the church. First day, I'm scared. I don't know what to do or what to say. There were three people sitting in front of me, and it's very scary. I just smiled, and then they smile at me, and back and forth we smile to each other like 10 minutes, and that's it. The first day. Then they left. I was so happy. Why they are not coming again? I was a little uncomfortable. I didn't do a good job. So anyway, I talked to minister. I said, Dan, don't ask me again. Okay, I don't want to do this. Then he said, listen to me. I really see something coming in your life, and you can do this. You can do this. Then now, I think he's 85 or almost 90. I don't know old. And so anyway, I started my second meditation. There were same three people sitting in front of me, and I smiled and said few words. Whatever I said, they like it. And now every Saturday they are coming. And so now 16 years later, this is what happened.
Wow.
And so the 9 years later, they announced they are going to sell this church. So then they offered me. I said I don't have money because I'm a monk. Then anyway, I announced to the people. Within 3 weeks, I got all the money.
Oh, wow.
And so we purchased this building. Now I'm a Buddhist monk. I have a church. And so the good thing, you don't see it now, is a big Jesus there. There's Jesus and Mother Mary other side. During the morning, you can see it's so beautiful. And so now, we have Jesus, we have Buddha, we have Mother Mary, and I call my Trinity. And so now people are comfortable to practice meditation with Buddha or Jesus. We are not teaching a religion, because I don't consider myself as a religious person. I'm a truth seeker, and also I'm helping for people to be happy and peaceful and seeking the truth. That's what we are doing now. We have 386 meditation classes per year in this place. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the beginning.
Yeah.
This is the 16th year.
Wow. That's really cool.
You mentioned you're from Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
I actually have a friend who came from Sri Lanka. He was a photojournalist, and he fled during some of the troubles there. Or is it a little bit more peaceful now?
Yeah, it's very peaceful now. No wars.
He's Tamil.
Oh, okay.
So, and yeah, he was a photojournalist, and he said it just got too dangerous, and he came to America.
Yeah, not anymore.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Are most of the people who attend the temple here, are they just people from this area, or do they come long distances?
Usually when we call the temples, people have an idea, another religious place, maybe Eastern community, get together and practice in some rituals. So I want to change that mindset. So this temple is 100% American, local.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but we have other people too. But the base is local people. So they are coming from different faith and different religious background, because they are comfortable, because we are not asking to change their religion or come to another faith. And the quality of our practice, we always ask, come and see, not come and believe. So therefore people are very comfortable.
There was I was listening to something the other day, and they were saying that it's a particularly kind of from the Christian perspective, Buddhism or Hinduism is something that it's not compatible. But they were saying that in the East, that's very much the opposite. Like that Jesus, or it could be a avatar of was it Vishnu? And it's totally compatible.
Right.
Whereas, like, I'm glad there's so much interest in the West in this kind of thing.
Right. Because for me, it's, the Jesus or Buddha avatar or Vishnu or somebody else doesn't matter for me. Even Buddha coming from India or Sri Lanka, he born in America, doesn't matter for me. It's always matter practical part. How we are going to practice, how we are going to beneficial to ourselves, and how we are going to help the world, and not their beginning or how they started their life. It's not really important. If you are interested, you can learn about that. That's why I don't have any conflict with Jesus or Buddha or Muhammad or Allah. I don't have those things. And so because the message is, they're teaching people how to love themselves and how to love self and also how to love the world and be compassionate. That's what we are teaching. It's very simple. It is not religious.
Yeah.
Because and also we don't have to compete. If we are in that process, we don't have competition, this and that, right? And we enjoy everything.
I was thinking when you were talking about living with the family, so was that, since we were going to talk about the holidays, was that your first time experiencing holidays?
Experience the American holidays.
Yes.
It's my first time.
And what was
Actually,
that?
like Halloween, I
Yeah.
enjoy with those two children because I became a babysitter almost.
Yeah.
And also those two children are my first English teachers. That's how I learned how to speak English. Every holidays we celebrate. The pumpkin carvings and what is the Easter, the egg, what is called the Easter egg hunting, right? And all those things I learned because of that.
Yeah.
And then we really enjoy Christmas together as a family, and because of that experience I had with them, every year I'm making the Christmas tree here at the temple. We call the Buddhismus.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we call.
Buddhismus, yeah.
Is
Buddhismus.
there a festival or holiday in Buddhist traditions around
Yeah,
the same
we
time of year?
have a few holidays. Every full moon in Sri Lanka is a public holiday. That's the people's spiritual day. People go to the temple all day, and also we have Buddha's birthday celebration. The three the significant things: his birth, his enlightenment, and his death. So we are celebrating the same day.
And what time of is there like a
Month of
December
May. No, month of May. Full moon of month of May.
One of the things we've talked about with several guests is you have like Day of the Dead, Halloween, like autumn harvest time in many cultures all over the world. There's a spring festival, there's a fall festival, there's usually a midwinter festival. And usually a summer solstice festival.
Yeah, because I think it is based on the weather, the way we live in this planet, right? But our country, of course, we have a rainy season retreat for the monks. We have rain or hot, and that's it. We have no seasons.
So you don't have the seasons the same way.
We don't have seasons. We have hot or rain, monsoons.
So hot rain.
Right, hot rain. That's it. We have different holidays, Independent Day and all those things, little holidays, but those are the major holidays.
It's really interesting. Yeah. That's actually the first, I think, time I thought about that with like as far as like holidays and Buddhism and where it comes from in the world and why
exactly.
It's
now think
really
about the Halloween here, right? We don't have those ideas at all. Yeah.
I wonder if is it different, you think, because of the reincarnation type
actually, it's very interesting. People think the Buddhists believe in reincarnation. We are not talking about reincarnation. And so reincarnation is like born again and go and recognize where I used to live, my house, my family, my parents, things like that's incarnation. But in the Buddhist teaching, what Buddha was talking about, the rebirth, happening again. Even don't think about next life, happening again. The two people came to this building, like 15, 20 minutes ago. Now you change. So that means happening again all the time. So the death is a big one happen in our life.
One idea I had recently is kind of, we are all kind of the same thing. We like to think of ourselves as separate. We're really all kind of the same. And I was thinking about reincarnation. I'm like, I don't think anybody ever specified that it was chronological. That like, if you die, then you're going to, if you were going to come back in another life, it would be in the future. Like, so I was kind of thinking of it like, well, we've all reincarnated and like I'm her, and in a different life was kind of a way I was thinking, conceptualizing it. It's like, so like my dog's me in a different life. Like everything is you.
Yeah, you can see that way too. That's what happened when you think about reincarnation. So when we are happening again, that means cause and effect, causality, not the people or the animal. So the cause and effect always happening inside this computer. Cause and effect happening. Our voices cause and effect. It's cold outside, cause and effect. The karmic journey also cause and effect. If I do something good now, it will affect to me, and also it will affect to you now. If I do something bad, of course, it's affecting me, it's affecting the society. So that's what Buddha said, action and reaction. That's what Buddha was talking about. My life also full of actions and reactions all the time. So now, what is the message Buddha gave to the world? If you want to live in this world peacefully, you have to manage your six senses. If you can manage them, you have peaceful life here. But that's not the permanent answer too. But that's better than nothing. Yeah.
Speaking of the holidays coming up, you do the loving kindness meditation here, and would you explain how someone can incorporate in their life when they're in a stressful time, such as the holidays?
Yeah. So we have to think. Why stress coming to us? Why stress coming to us? Because we want to exist. We all exist as a family, as a husband, as a wife. Then we have some conventional guidelines in the society we have to follow. If we are not following, we are like excommunicated or something like that, separate from the society. That's what Buddha said. That's what Buddha said. It's a painful experience, but you want to exist. If you want to exist, those are the things you have to do. And so, it's okay. Now we already exist here in this world. So how we are going to live? Now we are living with those, the ideas, with the expectations, because life is full of expectations. Right? Oh, holiday coming, I have to give all the gifts to my family members. Why? The conventionally is conditioned in our mind. Now people are trying so hard to give. Then they have question how much, how big I'm going to give. So it's very confusing. It's $20 or $30. People are worrying. I think everything is materialistic in this society now. That's the problem. The value is the material. How much money you spend is the quality. If I give free meditation, people don't come, right? Because it's not quality. In this society, quality means how expensive it is. So I think that's not the theme of the holiday. Holiday means your heart, how you feel, and also I think that's the best gift I can give to somebody. And so making them feel better, not giving them a big gift, right? And so go and spend time with them. You can tell, I don't have that much money to give, but I want to spend time with you. So sometimes some poor people have the one nice meal enjoyed for the holiday and sharing their ideas and thoughts. So when we have the world becomes so materialistic, then people stress out. Then they cannot enjoy the holiday.
Definitely
You
true.
mentioned expectations, and everybody's heard the whole existence is suffering.
Right.
I feel like there's a lot of people who their failing is that they are trying to avoid suffering.
Yeah.
If you have a headache, you take a pill for the headache, and then when the pill wears off, the headache's even worse than it was before.
Right.
Particularly, one issue that has affected me a lot is the opioid epidemic. I've lost way too many people to it, and I think a lot of people are nowadays. And that really is like, whether it's physical or emotional pain, that whole chain of addiction starts with you have suffering and you're trying to avoid it.
Right, exactly.
And like the pain's telling you you're alive.
Right,
like
exactly.
Nobody ever said life was pleasant the whole time.
Right. Because the problem is people are not the thoughtful. People don't want to think because we are lazy. We are not opening our heart to think. So when we exist in this world, there's a little fun, fantasy too in it. Little fantasy, people really enjoying it. So it's too big for them. But the person who is called the wise and mindful is not a big deal for that person. And so you said, when we have a headache, we go and do temporary things, take Advil or Tylenol or something like that. So whatever we do, temporary. That's when you read the box of Tylenol, it said temporary relief. That means your headache is coming back. one day, right? So always people are not digging to the reality or the truth or the root of the problem, always looking for temporary answers. We had to ask very simple, the theory. Why we have a headache? Because we have a head. We don't have a head, then we don't have a headache. It's very simple, right? Why we all are exist. That's why we have all the pain and ache and suffering, problem, fighting, and. So then Buddha said, if you want to live in this world, you have to manage them. If not, then you have to make the decision. Yeah, if you're not, you have to make the decision to walk away from that. Then it's a big job. So where we live our life, always going in a system of downstream. Easy, everybody's doing it. But think different means we are going upstream. It's challenging, nobody appreciating, nobody helping. You have to go by yourself.
You see a lot of people where they have a job that, they make $150,000 a year, but they have to work 80 hours a week, and they have a house in the suburbs, and they have a nice car, and they have a house full of nice stuff, but they're never home.
Right.
And they work really, 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 really hard, and they drive into the city every day. Sometimes they even have an apartment in the city because it's too.
Yeah, I know many people like that.
And they don't see their family, and they don't see their kids. They eat fast food every day, and at the end of the year, all their money's gone. They weren't home the whole time.
Yeah.
They didn't get to enjoy all that stuff they thought that they wanted so much. And then they drop dead at an early age because the stress and the horrible diet and the horrible stressful lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's like you could get a job where you don't make as much money, but you could actually see your family. And isn't that the reason for being anyway?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, what we could talk about now is like how to get out of that, how to find real authentic joy in your life versus
the joy. We have to be in the middle. We have, so now the nature of our life, always our emotions pulling to two different directions. So that's why we call the imbalance. Life is imbalance. Sometimes like, sometimes dislike, sometimes like, sometimes dislike. That's how from the birth to now we are living our life. So that's really bringing you so much stress. So then then we are always now modern world, the scientists, doctors, medical professionals, everybody is agreeing and encouraging people to meditate. So that when you are meditating, you will learn how to balance your emotions, not going up and down, keeping calm. We call the tranquil state of mind, equal state of mind, keep even. So that's why meditation is important. Then we have to understand what is the nature of this life. Everything is subject to change. Everything is impermanent. So is impermanent, why is bother? Now we have a good time in our life, just enjoy it without complaining. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but you know what is happening now. Always people are worrying about the future, what will happen to me, but you can think about your future. But what is the nature of your future? Whatever you plan, it may happen, it may not happen. After you understand that, you can plan for your future.
Yeah, so much of people's problems is that idea. I mean, anxiety is fear of the future, and depression is doting up on the past.
Right, exactly. What I'm suggesting for the people, then people think, we don't have time to meditate. We have time for everything else, but not for the meditation. I'm not asking people to meditate like an hour per day. I'm asking 2 minutes per day. If you can spend 2 quality minutes, your life is big change.
I came to Buddhist and Taoist thought through martial arts. And I don't know if I guess I could compare it to maybe the yoga where you're physically doing something while I think for some people, sitting still is really difficult, but you can get to the same place through really vigorous physical activity.
Yeah.
Because I came from that direction, one thing is that being in a meditative mind state for me, I don't have to sit in a quiet place. Like I feel sometimes the most peaceful when it's really noisy and chaotic.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of stuff happening. And like, the first time I heard a teacher talk about it, he was talking about like on the battlefield, if you're a samurai or whatever, like you have to be in that Zen, that just meditative mind state to be able to function, because if you're having emotional reactions to all this stuff happening around you, you can't fight well.
Right. So I think it depends. I think both we have to do. So I call the training and practice. So when you come to the temple to meditate, what people are doing is not practice; it is training. So that means you train how to live in the world. And so that quiet time, pausing and stop everything, go within and let it calm down is very important to live your life middle of those thousands of millions of people with all the chaos in the world. But training is very important. If you don't have enough training, your practice is miserable. And so it's like a doctors and nurses. So that's why I'm suggesting, no need to train yourself every single day, hours and hours, but that quality 2 minutes is very important to sit and go within and breathe and feel yourself. And sometimes, it's very dangerous. Sometimes people who used to work, oh, I'm very happy middle of all the things and the work and people, but that means another kind of escaping too, because they don't want to see the real insight. Then better to go and distract. So we have to be very careful. What is that? What I'm looking for. Sometimes it's happened to me because I'm traveling a lot, almost 200 days per year I'm traveling.
Oh, wow.
And so that means lots of traveling. So once in a while, like yesterday, I didn't have anything. So I'm always in the going mode, packing, the unpacking. That's my life almost last 15 years going. Once in a while, if I stop, I experience something boredom, something not right, what's going on in my life or something like that, questioning. So then I realize I'm so addicted to, that going mode. So then I realized yesterday, I have to sit, I have to be still, I have to be quiet, and which is very important to me. Then I figure it out. So we have to go back and forth and see where we at. Yeah.
So a kind of balance.
I was raised in a house where, like, Buddhism and meditation, everything, since I was as long as I can remember, and I did martial arts starting when I was about 5. Is it very hard for most Americans to understand what meditation is?
Yeah, I think but now modern world people are looking for meditation. But the problem is there are no good guidance. There are very few good teachers to guide them. Because sometimes people doing chanting and om, they think I'm meditating. That's not. And so I'm listening to music. That's my meditation. That's not. Meditation, real meditation is dig into the root and get into the root and take the root out of your matters. Most of the meditation techniques, what we are using now, the modern world, I call relaxation exercises. So they are exercising like a massage. It's like almost like a meditation. Like you're doing yoga, shavasana, almost like a meditation. That's what people think, but it's not. Real meditation is developing your mind, cultivating your mind with the qualities, loving kindness, acceptance, mindfulness. If you are meditating, those are the qualities getting better in your life. Otherwise, holding fingers like this, chanting om is not. I can see the fun part too in that. But that's what I'm always telling people. Most of the thing you are doing as a meditation is not real meditation. So the relaxation and meditation is totally two different things. If you can relax, you can meditate.
So could you explain, because people seem to use those as synonymous, relaxation, meditation, as well as hypnosis gets thrown in there as being part of the same thing. But what makes meditation different? Meditation, your mind is on, correct?
When we are relaxing your body and mind is temporary. Halfway you are sleeping. It's like a self-hypnotism like that. And also you are in a trance when you are in the relaxed state of mind. When, it's almost halfway sleeping. But when you are meditating, you are not sleeping, you are not relaxed. The Buddha, they use the word awakened mind. That means if you are meditating, you are fully awake, not sleeping. You exactly know emotionally, physically, environmentally, what exactly happening. You are very alert and awake. We call that living in the present moment. When you are in the relaxed state of mind, there's a little fantasy there. People want to have it, keep it, hold it, but the nature of it, you will lose it. Then you get upset. Right, so.
I've experienced meditating a few times, a sense of just where I was not asleep, eyes were open, was conscious, but I just totally lost my sense of
Okay.
individual sense of self.
Yeah, which is okay. Just be with that. Don't attach to it. Don't judge it, and it is good thing or bad thing. Just be present with that experience.
But is that experience like at the root?
It is not.
Or is that just one other experience?
Yeah, it's one other another. The deep, relaxed state of mind, very deep. But that's the time you need the teacher. When that means if you have a teacher or noble friend, he says, now he is or she is very deep, relaxed state of mind. What teacher does, this is my joke actually. What teacher does, I always say, teacher, get up and go and kick him or kick her,
wow.
right? And what we are asking, get up now. Now you are sleeping. The moment you awake, that's the time you are starting to meditate. That means you are fully awake. You are not repressing, you are not suppressing or controlling. You exactly know. So where is the root coming from? For example, when you get angry, what people are doing, they are suppressing the anger most of the time. When you are really meditating with anger, you see why I'm asking question. Why do I get angry? That means I want to control, number one. Number two, I want to see everything where I want. And so you will see those things. Then you understand I cannot control. I cannot keep everything where I want. So keep thinking about it. Then you getting better with that. Why I get mad? So, when you are relaxing, you don't see those roots. You put the bandana, temporary things, make it beautiful. But keep coming. I meet so many people. So many years they repress and suppress. Now they don't know how to handle with those emotions anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the famous mantra of Buddhism.
Right.
The lotus coming out of the mud, right? You have to get to the down in the mud.
Yeah, that's that's the analogy we always use. Purified mind is like a lotus flower.
Well, we're coming up on about 30 minutes. Do you have any final questions?
I have many questions.
Well, I'm sure you do. Well, maybe we can come back and talk to you.
But
The name of the book was
Empty, Happy.
Empty, Happy, and you worked on that with what was the other gentleman's
the Tyler Lukie. Empty, Happy. There's before that there's another book called the My Wish.
Okay.
The My Wish is my life story, and same time in between there are some teachings.
Okay.
The Empty, Happy book is 15 talks I gave here, different places. So that's the Empty, Happy. My third book is on the way. The middle of November. It's called the Sitting on the Toolbox.
Oh, just coming up now?
Yeah.
Oh, the
almost. Almost.
Okay.
So those are the 3 books we have.
And where can people go to get your books?
You can search Bhante Sujatha and bhantesujatha.org, www.bhantesujatha.org. And so that's my website, and so they go through the website or.
And the podcast for the temple, how do they find that?
If you want to find the podcast from the temple, that means you have to go to our website, temple website, www.bluelotustemple.org.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for all the blessings. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the Conscious Community Podcast. If you'd like more information about sponsoring this podcast or advertising with Conscious Community Magazine, in print or online, please email me at spencer@consciouscommunitymagazine.com. That's SPENCER, or call 630-492-0831.